All right, welcome back here to the Hill on NewsNation. I woke up this morning, saw this, and went, whoa. Okay. A new warning from the U.S. Surgeon General. Parenting can be hazardous to your health. Dr. Vivek Murthy issuing an advisory today that highlighted recent surveys showing that nearly half of parents report, quote-unquote, overwhelming stress most days, compared to only 26% of other adults. There's not a crosstab for that on bedtime specifically. I'm sure that number would be higher. What is causing the stress? In part, money. 66% report feeling consumed by worries about their finances. So there's a lot here, obviously, right? What about possible solutions or how to get to the bottom of this? Well, the Surgeon General suggested a number of options, including child tax credits, universal pre-K, and paid family leave, medical leave. But take a look at the estimated costs. You can see them there of these programs. If you were to institute all of them, the child tax credit, for example, $1.5 trillion, universal pre-K, another $350 billion. You're talking about a couple $1 trillion here. Is this the solution to all of it? And is this what we might get if Kamala Harris wins the election? I woke up, I read this. Parents, kids, I'm a parent, I have kids.
Went back to sleep.
No, I didn't go back to sleep because I had to get the kids ready for school. And I thought to myself, look, I know nothing about what it was like to raise kids in 1984 when I was born. I know a lot about what it's like to raise kids right now in 2024, as do you.
Well, Blake, at least you don't have to pay the $2 trillion to get
Well, I kind of do, though,
well,
right? Because that would be the debt that gets passed down to me and to my kids. And that's why I wonder, look, a lot of this stuff is valuable and would help parents. But is money the solution here?
Well, I think there's a reason why these programs and policies have been part of the discussion, at least in Democratic circles, for quite a number of cycles now. And part of it is about, yes, getting help to parents, but also getting help to parents of a certain socioeconomic status. So you and I sit here with our kids, we have these conversations, we have our day-to-day challenges, and it's hard to be a working parent. But if you're a single working parent or you're a low-income working parent, it's impossible. And so part of this is about raising the tide for everybody.
and being able to pay for it.
Absolutely.
I think one thing with Kamala Harris and Waltz is not only, okay, we love these programs. In fact, it was just endorsed by this foundation, your report. At the same time, though, it'll be important, how do you pay for it, right?
Yeah, so we've got $35 trillion in debt right now. It'll be $50 trillion in a decade. It'll probably be $100 trillion if we keep on going at this by the time my kids are my age. And that's, I guess, the balance here, right? Like, is money the solution to this? I wonder what the former budget director thinks about all this.
No, I'm trying really, really hard not to be cynical because I am a cynic, but I think I've earned my cynicism. Let me tell you what the hardcore right wing is thinking about this report today.
Okay.
This is just Democrats being Democrats. Everything is now a syndrome. Everything is probably something that's going to qualify you for some government program. And if I really want to be really cynical, this is an argument for abortion. That having a child is a mental health issue, and if you don't want to have that mental health issue, it's okay for you to get an abortion. I'm not going to be the only person who looks at that story and thinks, you know what, this is just part and parcel of a larger sort of anti-family initiative.
You willing to go there?
No, I understand where he's coming from for sure. As the only non-parent on this stage, I probably don't have the insight as
You're less stressed than us.
Well, I'm definitely. Thank you. I would suspect that there is a non-financial component to the stressors that deal with the day-to-day raising of children in today's world. With social media the way it was, I know if I were to come downstairs and see my kid doing a TikTok dance or listening to Boom or Doom, I'd be a bit frazzled. The bullying, the nonstop. So I think there's a lot more to it. I don't think a price tag needs to be put on everything, but as J.D. Vance said a couple weeks ago, there's a lot to be done on that.
If you're married with children, you're 2/3 more likely to be Republican. That's the world we live in.
Okay, but was your argument that this was a reason to get an abortion because parenting is too stressful? And that right-wingers think that?
You don't think there's not going to be some discussion someplace when someone said, now look, it's really tough to have kids. So if you feel like this is too much stress for you, there's a way out of this situation.
I can guarantee
do you think it's...
I'm trying really hard not to be that cynical.
But you're being that way.
Yes, I am. I'm
being that way.
Is this in part teeing up Kamala Harris's policies?
I think absolutely. I mean, there's a large conversation, again, that's been happening not just during this candidacy and this campaign cycle, but for a very long time. Cory Booker brought this up during the last presidential.
So thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below
to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.